All right, well, today I'm gonna build a shelf. I am not a carpenter. I've built a shelf before, that one way over there. I built that shelf. It's doing really good. I need another shelf. I'm building another shelf. By the way, if you wanna see some really cool content on YouTube, check this out. You ready? Go to a different channel. I do things not by the book. I don't have a level. I have a level. I'm not using a level. I'm not using a speed square, nothing like that. I'm building a shelf. It's probably gonna be crooked. Whatever, I don't care. Anywho, here's how I do it. Oh, I forgot to mention, the shelf is gonna be bigger than any shelf I've ever built. It's gonna be 10 feet tall, 10 feet wide. And it's gonna be 4 different shelves. I think maybe 5, including the top. I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, I've got to have a place to put all my engines that I've got, my transmissions, my transfer cases, all the car parts that are just everywhere right now. I got to have more shelves. So I'm building a big, sturdy, beefy shelf for all the big, heavy stuff. So I'm going to start by building the bottom of it, and we're going to go from there. All right, let me show you what I got so far. So you see this little ladder right here? That's the shelf, right? Easy enough. Every 20 inches, I put a little support brace in there. I got 5 of them, right? So I'm gonna pick the flattest one of these. That's gonna be the very bottom. And then moving up from there, we're gonna have shelves up the side of it. So that's kind of what I did. I went every 20 inches spaced out, and then in between. So this piece of wood here is 21 inches long. That's 1.5 inches, that's 1.5 inches. That makes it 2 feet exactly. So it's 2 feet by 10 feet. That's what the shelves are gonna be. Now, I'm gonna take one of these, put it on the floor over here, and then start building my way up. All right, next step is done. Here's what I got. Shelf on the bottom, second shelf up. So what I do is I take a 10-foot board, because that's how tall I want it to be. So I run it all the way up, and it's gonna be screwed into the side of each shelf. But I don't want all the weight held up by the screws. So what I do is I measure out the gap that I want in my shelf there, and I cut some support boards, and I put those in between the shelf to the next shelf. And then all I do for the plywood is I cut out that exact shape right there. So really it'll just be 2 foot by 8 foot sections, and I'll just cut out for these right here. Now you can go ahead and put the shelf on there if you want to, and then have your gap set, but I just don't want any weight resting on the actual plywood. So I just build the frame like this and cut out the little shape for my plywood. Third shelf done. Not too shabby. Wash, rinse, repeat. Same deal with the support boards in between there. And then going up to the top, we've got some shorter shelves going near the top. The bottom 2 are gonna be, I think these are 28 inches, and then we're gonna do 23 inches, 23 inches. Something like that. So we'll get the next shelf done. Oh, well, it's done. I can't even, hold on, let me back up. Look at the size of that thing. Holy cow. We got all the shelves put in, all the way to the top, everything braced up. Next step, start ripping this OSB I got. This is 5/8 inches thick. It's pretty solid, so I got it where I want it. I'm gonna start putting this putting this OSB on there. All right, got all this stuff ripped down the middle. The next step is kind of put these notches in the plywood here where the braces are, so we can work our way around the braces. And since this is 8 feet long, it's gonna come to about right in the middle of this one, somewhere in here. So I've put a little cross brace just to hold where the seam is gonna be. So those are all the way up to the very top. And then we'll go ahead and start putting these shelves on, hammer them into place, and then screw them down. All right, after another day, they're done. This is the shelf. Let me zoom out a little bit. You can see the plywood on there. Notched in. It's not completely perfect, but it's good enough for me. You got the 2-foot piece over here resting on the cross piece we put in there. And that's what it looks like when it's done, all the way up. So, shelf officially done. This is the biggest shelf I've ever built. It's pretty sturdy. Oh, and to kind of add to it, this is gonna be for heavy stuff, you know, motors, transmissions, transfer cases, rear ends, heavy car parts all the way up. I didn't want it to tip over at any point and crush me, or God forbid a car, you know. So up at the top, you can see these L brackets. I've actually screwed them into the wall itself. So there's no weight added to the wall. It's just the wall is helping support this. This is helping support the wall. It just kind of helped make everything pretty sturdy, and it is not going anywhere. So I've got one on that side over there. I've got another one on this side over here. And then on these two uprights, you can't see them, but I also have brackets on those two as well. So 4 L brackets holding this thing up. Solid as a rock. I like it. It's done. So I have made a mess in this garage doing a whole bunch of stuff. So I've got some cleaning up to do. But then I'm going to go ahead and put some stuff on the shelf, give it a nice test, see what it looks like, see how everything fits. I did these measurements because I took measurements of stuff like the shop vac, my welder, all that kind of stuff, so I could put it on the bottom. That way it's not just sitting somewhere in the floor. I actually have a place to put it. Next shelf up is at my hip level here. No problem there. So when I pick up any engines, transmissions, they can be easily reached right here, or I can slide the cherry picker in there, grab them, and then pull them out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a few things on here and we'll see how it works. All right, it's super humid out here. It's like I'm just in a sauna the entire time, but check that out. I can store 6 engines across. So these are some of my extra engines. I'm gonna do some testing later in the year. So I got a couple engines built up. I got transmissions, transfer cases, rear diffs, transmission parts. The vacuum fits, the air compressor fits, and I still have 3 more shelves on top of that. So overall, not bad. I've got a couple more transmissions coming in. I've shipped a couple off, having some work done to a few of them. More transmissions to come. I've got another transfer case somewhere. I've got 2 or 3 more rear diffs that have to go on here somewhere. All that's going to be stored on this shelf, this solid behemoth behind me. So that's going to be it for the shelf. So that's great. Coming up though, this guy right here needs some love. It's been a while since I've done anything with him. He's just been kind of sitting in the background, and he needs some attention. He needs some love. So the next couple of videos, obviously I got to clean up the garage, get everything back in order. I've got to finish this car over here and get it sent back up to Pennsylvania to its owner. So it's coming along great. I'll give you guys an update on that car maybe next week, maybe a week after that. As soon as I get the head back, we'll give you an update on that car over there. Gooch, of course, been waiting patiently for his turn. I've got one more customer truck outside that I've got to see if I can get going. And then I've got to get my C10 back in here to see if I can get it ready to drive down the road. It still had a few issues here and there, so we're going to be working on that too. So there's a lot of videos coming up. I'm excited to be in the garage finally, getting some projects moving along, getting some work built up in here. And guys, I look forward to seeing you soon. So we will see you in the next one. Bye.